I said, baby, can I talk to you for a moment? Seems like I'm really feeling kind of lonely. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see you again. Oh, baby, tired of looking back on all the mistakes. Being on my own ain't worth the heartache. Trying to find my way right back to you. Ooh, I would walk 1,000 miles just to get to you. Walk the oceans, cross the desert if you want me to. Ain't no mountain high or valley low. Your love's the only thing I know. Here I come, baby, right back to your loving arms. Oh, loving arms. I said, baby, 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 can't sleep without you here beside me. Woman, I need your love to guide me. You know how to ease my troubled mind. Oh, I said, lady, 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 lady. When you look at me, girl, I believe it. You'll never know it's love until you feel it. Gonna be with you till my dying day. I would walk 1,000 miles just to get to you. 1,000 miles. The oceans, cross the desert if you want me. Anything to get to you. Ain't no mountain high or valley low. Your love the only thing I know. Here I come, baby. Here I come, baby. Right back to your loving arms. Should have told you, be sure. Before I'll always love you. All my heart and soul. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Women with Words. Today is Thursday. We're here again on this beautiful Thursday evening. Thank you for joining us. Please invite somebody. Of course, this is February. We're talking with sister lovers, all the love people coming to tell us their love stories. Welcome. Of course, my name is Glendy Jonius, Glendy Jane Jonius.
She likes her
I'm
name.
here with my two, Glendy Jane Jonius. I'm here with my two co-hosts.
I'm Michael Padmore.
Also known as.
Black Santa.
Hi, I'm Agatha Joseph. Good to be here this evening.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Women with Words. We want to make sure that you please share the live feed. We do have two very important people that's going to be talking to us today. But before we start, some things have happened in the past week that we want to talk about for a few minutes. We want to first not forget that we are in February, and February is Black History Month.
Yes.
And also is the Heart Cardiac Month also. But we want to pay homage to the late Dr. Amos Claudius Sawyer, who passed in the past few days. We want to say to the family, we all may have different personal stories about Dr. Sawyer. There's so many things that can be said. There's so many histories out there. But one thing we do know is that Liberian history knows him, and Liberian history knows his name. So we want to say to the bereaved family, to Liberia. Have our deepest condolences to Liberians. Never mind to the family, the wife, the children, everyone who's connected to Dr. Sawyer. Indeed, a pillar of Liberia has fallen. And we want to say, never mind, my people, your number. That all
Yeah.
of us believe. So
Yeah.
we want to wish that the family are consoled and that they are comforted. Okay. What are we talking about today? Let's talk a little bit about the show, Agatha. What we gonna have here today?
We got a lot. We have an amazing couple that we're going to be spending some quality time with today. Of course, you know, we got our Ask Auntie segment. You don't want to miss it. The questions are juicy. We also have a lot to talk about, things that are going on in Liberia. So, you know, stay tuned. Share the live feed, invite a friend, and hang in there with us. It's going to be a good show.
Michael, what are you looking for today?
I'm just looking for, you know, I always enjoy being in the presence of you beautiful ladies.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm
Let me
looking
fix
forward to every Thursday.
I know, right?
Boom, boom, there we go. You know, so that's what I look forward to this year. To have
And
a good time.
you got all the men. There's one man on that page that is just extremely jealous of you. He gets mad all the time.
That's okay.
He'll be all right.
Yeah. But let's go ahead right now and welcome our guests
Yes.
onto the show. Yes, welcome
There we
to our
go.
guests. Welcome. We're looking forward to talking to you. We have Mr. and Mrs. Seal here. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're excited to be on tonight.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Of course, this is the Lovers Month. We can see Mrs. Seal already in her red with her arm.
She understood the assignment.
Yes.
Wow, this is serious business.
There you go.
There you go. But it's a pleasure. We're excited to talk to you all tonight. As we start, for those who's just joining us, you're watching us on Women with Words. We're here this evening with the Seals. They're going to be talking about our focus tonight is on a successful marriage and partnership. So we're going to be talking to them to see. We're going to hear about the love part. We're going to hear about the fussing part. We're going to hear about the makeup part.
The good, bad, and the ugly, right?
Yeah, the good, bad, and the ugly. We're going to hear about the children. We're going to hear about we on this podcast or this show, we promote healthy marriages. Marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
For all of you who are still married, hats off to you. I am happily divorced, single, and a virgin.
And
So
we
I'm
support
excited.
that as well.
And what?
We also support that.
Yes, thank you. They do support whatever I want to be there. They say hats off. Somebody
Yes.
will fight. Somebody went
Exactly.
today on the page and actually made a post about my virgin story. I said, that's okay, you live. I am what I am. All right, so let's start with Mrs. Seal. First, we want to find out from you. Tell us a little bit about who you are. And then we'll ask your husband, and then you guys can tell us about the two of you together as a couple.
Oh, thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Sayed Dole Seal. I usually like to introduce myself more from my belief. I'm first a child of God. I love the Lord. I love to pray. I am a wife, a mother, a sister, a good friend, and most importantly, I am a philanthropist. I love to give back. I believe in paying forward. I believe we all have an opportunity and a purpose in life. And it's critically important to understand what that purpose is and live within your God-given purpose. So to sum it up, you can think about me from those core perspectives. A mother, a child of God, a praying woman, a wife, and a giver who is walking in her purpose according to God's ordinance.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Mr. Seal, tell us. I hope you can beat that.
It is difficult to come behind my wife. It's always a challenge. especially when you find someone who's very outspoken. But I will start by first appreciating this moment. I don't take for granted the opportunity that you guys have presented for us to just have a conversation around marriage and partnership. I think that topic is important. But who am I? That is a loaded question. It is Francis Kanweba CEO.
You gotta say that middle name again. Again.
So my name is Francis Kanweba.
Love it.
So Kanweba is my crew name. I'm originally from Liberia, West Africa, for those of you who are listening online. I was born and raised in Monrovia, attended Cathedral Catholic High School and graduated there from. I'm a husband. I'm a community crusader. I'm also a father of 3 beautiful children. I'm a businessman. I also work, I'm employed with Wells Fargo. And I do a lot of things. I'm a Christian. I love to give back as part of our mission. We believe that giving back is important. I love my family. I'm a staunch believer that when you take care of God's business, God will take care of your business.
Amen.
Through the years, I've come to that realization with my wife by my side. I'm someone who's passionate about what I do. And I'm looking forward to a very good conversation. I can be long-winded, so I will pause.
Go ahead.
So I can bear that, right? That's a crewman, so you know, right?
All knowledge and wisdom.
Yes.
That's all I'm going to say today. And Glendy usually say, for those of you who are familiar with our show, Glendy always introduces our guests, and she has some sort of connection to almost all of our guests. So far, I've only had one person, Stephen Kofa, that had to tell Glendy that he's my cousin. So since the CEOs are crew people, and y'all know all the crew people related.
Yeah, we do.
So somewhere, maybe they're my 4th cousin, twice removed on my father's side. So they're my cousin.
Exactly.
I am definitely not going to bust a bubble, but I'll tell you also, my mother is crew.
Oh, Lord.
That's a good one, though.
We'll leave it at that. But anyway,
Glendy, let me have this one. I beg you, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one because
and Michael Padmore is just in the background jealous because nobody here is from CWA. We're all from Cathedral.
But guess what? Let me interject something. How all the two people are related. So when Frank first took me to his house, 30 years ago, mother started to ask me where I'm from. I told her,
She got me know for your long business now.
yeah, and she started talking about if we're related, and we were like, oh, if we are, it's already late.
I know, right?
Nobody know what she's talking about.
I know, one kind of small thing. So tell us a little bit about that. We've heard about you and heard about your husband. I know your husband mentioned about the children. Let's hear about that partnership, that union. How did you all meet? Want to hear the story? We had a couple last week that told us how they met. They followed one another for a long time. So want to hear that love part about where did you all meet and how did you meet? Princess, the woman looking at you.
With love eyes too.
I know.
So for me, it was back in 1991 on May 6th. It was the late President Samuel K. Doe's birthday.
Oh,
Back
wow.
in 1991. And we met through a mutual friend by the name of Andrea Gassin. We called Choppy at the time, and we lived in a community called Cinco Fiamma, and around 19th to 21st Street area. And so Choppy this day took me. She said, "Hey, let's go somewhere. I want to show you somebody. You know, I your big sister. I want to show you somebody." So we took the time. I think at the time she had known, say, in her family for some time. And so we went over to. We walked, doing the walk. Everybody just walking from one point to the next.
Yeah.
So we walked from a house. She was living around the market area, Fiamma Market. For those of you who are familiar with Fiamma Market, I went to Choppy house and we went to stay in a family house. So when I saw the lady on the porch, she said, "Yeah, the girl I'm going to get for you over there." I'm like, "Okay, cool for me." Yeah, exactly. So obviously, she had just come from Canada, and she was living in Monrovia at the time. So I was excited about that. And having been a Monrovia boy, I had to step up my game. So I had an opportunity to, of course, introduce myself, project that confidence. And when she saw me, obviously she was already melted all over me anyway. So
She was finished.
so,
Her heart was finished swelling. Wow.
He bust her head.
You heard a little, you heard a little crew thinking that I projected myself. Go on.
Exactly.
Like my cousin.
Exactly. So, and the rest is history, but that's how we met. I don't know if I can continue. I came to America. We went to Cathedral together. She had come from Canada, and she was in senior 12th grade. I was in 12th grade Cathedral because I was in Cathedral all through. So I knew everybody. Obviously, some of my friends who were already in Cathedral said, "Wait till they get when you leave us here, you go take her stranger mine." But she stole my heart 30 years ago, and
Aw.
today I still refer to her as my able lieutenant.
Very good.
I still refer to her as my able lieutenant because, I mean, all through the years, through our ups and downs, we can go through it. 3 children later, I came to America. She's here, very strong-headed. I mean, I can go on and on, but that's how we met. And then she can also provide additional information. That's why I remember Doe's birthday so well. Because
It was a good day.
I know.
yeah,
So I'm gonna ask your wife to say when you saw this young man, when they finished selling you to this young man, what did you do?
Oh my God, the boy was so fun. I mean,
Hey.
tall, slim, and all I could imagine was how my children would look. And I
Oh.
There
was
you go.
having children with him. But when I first saw him, I knew then that's the person I wanted to be with.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Oh,
I
so he's
did-
not finding
I-
children me already.
I know.
right, yeah.
He saw his skin. She said, "I'm going anyway again. Because maybe I will leave for you. The ugly man come and find out. Stay right. Stay right. I want to talk about. I think I stumbled upon because your wife and I were friends on Facebook, and I think I stumbled about something on your daughter. Correct?
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about her. Very formidable young woman. I saw her speak at, I think she's speaking at a program or something. I want to make sure, because that's the partnership, the fact that you have a your children, I don't know all of them, but I've watched your daughter 1 or 2 times, and I want us to talk about her a little bit.
So before we do that, I think I would do justice to just talking about our 3 kids first, right? So we
Sure.
got 3 children.
Sure.
Francis Enuenti Seal the third. He's the junior. He just graduated from Wingate University. Now he's at St. Leo University in Florida doing his master's. He plays basketball. He loves basketball. He's a point guard there at St. Leo. He aspired to go to the NBA, but we got everything in the hands of God. He is very passionate about
Beautiful.
professional basketball. And our middle daughter, she's named after Francis and I. Her name is Francia. So it's
Okay.
blend. So just imagine her personality. She's the personality of Francis and Sia.
Yes.
She's a go-getter. She aspires to be a lawyer. She is in her first year at Hampton University. And that's where she was talking about
Yes.
one of her role models and how her mom and all
Yeah.
that. She's very strong-headed, very smart. She plays, she's a track athlete, very athletic, very focused, very determined. We call her the leader of the family. She does not back down. Whatever she wants, she goes after it. And then the last baby, he's Emmanuel. He is 14 years old now. He's in high school, just got in 9th grade. He sings well. God bless him with a gift of music. So he's a very good, I call him my music minister. 3 beautiful blessings that we will not trade for nothing else.
Beautiful. So you're
Yeah.
having one more.
No, I wanted 5 children. But
How that work out for you?
I'm from a big family. So my father had about 6. So on my mother's side, I mean, I had so many aunts and uncles, so I'm used to a large family. But then, when we got married, I told my wife I wanted five. When we got to the first three, she said, "I can't do this no more." So,
Right, Bishop?
but definitely, I think the part that she missed though was that Francia is a tomboy. You know, that daughter of mine, she should,
Yes.
she should have been a boy. For some reason, gorgeous. I think we prayed too hard for a girl,
Okay.
and then that girl came, but that man, woman, and that crew woman.
Yes, she is very, very eloquent.
Yeah.
She's extremely eloquent and she is very assertive. I actually watched the video twice and I was very proud to know such a young woman. But I want us to talk about, how do you see your relationship now? How would you describe your relationship? That's the partnership piece we're coming into now.
Sure. So I'll get started. Having been together for almost 30 years, we've learned a whole lot of things over the years. We graduated high school together. We did undergraduate studies together in accounting and economics. We went to masters together. We got our project management together. She went and did a CPA and all those different things, and we started doing businesses together. And then we formed a foundation. So how I view my relationship as far as partnership, we are partners not in our marriage only, but also in businesses. And I can look back and say, good gracious, my wife is good to work with because she's very assertive. And that partnership have grown over the years only because when I find myself being striving for something, she's already one step ahead of the game because her mom, her late mom, used to sell what we call Duca Flair in Liberia. And she was a businesswoman. So that partnership, my wife, the business aspect of her is it have come to the point where she knows how to make money. And she wants us to continue doing business. So our relationship and our marriage have grown, not just on a marriage standpoint. We've invited God into it, and then we're doing multiple businesses, profit and non-for-profit. So all of those different things kind of make it difficult. Sometimes I want to go away, but then we have to make sure business is good. At the same time, the foundation is also great, and then our children. So working together have given me the opportunity to better understand the partner that God has blessed me with. I say this because he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm in favor today because of the kind of wife that he has blessed me with.
And you know that the part also is God, right? Because over the years we got really stronger in our faith. That doesn't mean that you don't have problems, because I look at marriage as a garden, right? As you're taking off the weeds from other places, something else is growing. But what has really kept us together, as you talk about all the partnership, is God. We introduced prayers in our home when the kids were younger and they were in the house. Every day or every other day we pray as a family. We have prayer requests. We come together and talk about what is bothering you, what we need to pray for today. So that has been, to me, has been the really anchor of the family. No matter how things shifted, we came back again to pray about it. And we've been really involved in the church. I know when we first got here, the Liberian church in Salisbury, Rowan International Church, we were the ones who really worked, put our credit forward to help build that church. And the church right now has grown where it has acquired so many properties, have their own credit and all of that. So we're constantly sowing in different ministries. We have so many pastors friends. My husband always tell me, if something happens to you, God forbid, I don't know which pastor is going to preach your funeral, because I have many pastors. So God is constantly surrounding us with people who are praying for us, coming by, and we're constantly sowing in the different ministries. So that's, to me, that's the core. And then the love, right? Once you have love, no matter what happens, you always go back to the basics. You still find yourself coming back to what connected you from the beginning.
And I also
Yeah. Y'all making me now. I want to go find somebody now.
talk about it because it's important. With
I got
everything,
time, Michael. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Francis.
But by no means, like she said, she talked about it. All those different things that strengthen us, our connection, the business, or the children, all of that. But God is the center of all of this. I say this because He is the glue that holds this union together. I'll tell people we are imperfectly perfect. You know, I say this because there's no perfect marriage, there's no perfect union. Sitting before you is not a perfect couple, but it is God that has glued this marriage together. And He continues because our lives now is not our own. We are impacting the lives of other people. So even sometimes if I want to throw in the towel or if she wants to throw in the towel, we have to realize that, and then hopefully we'll get into the foundation aspect of it, but we have to realize that we have about 400 people depending on us in that area.
Mhm.
So that is important because if we don't hold it together, you have over 400 kids in Liberia. The foundation could just go down the drain, and those are some of the things that keep us going. Say, even if when I'm tired, even when I can't do this anymore, I thank God for the opportunity that He has given us to be a blessing to somebody else. Because I believe that success in and of itself is not all of the accolades that I have attained in life or she has attained. But when I can go to Liberia and put a shoes on the foot of somebody else, when I can see a kid smile, I come from America and go back to Liberia and dress somebody and just make them happy. I believe I've done something better. I believe I've made the world a better place. And hopefully we can get into it. But that's the partnership and relationship that continues to hold us together in that.
And I'm glad you said that because as we think about our children, these kids also they'll call us on our birthdays and sing to us, and we go to call us mom and pop. So we don't look at ourselves as having 3 kids now. We look at ourselves as having additional 430 kids. Not even the women that we're helping. These are women who will call us and just say, we want to pray for you. So when your life becomes bigger than yourself, it's no longer about my selfish what side wants or what Francis wants. It's about what about the people that look up to us?
Yes. I got that, Michael.
So we've talked about all the wonderful things about the marriage, the fruits of your labor, the children, and hats off to you. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What is that thing that will want you to ever think about throwing the hat in? You said you throw the towel in, but you come back together because of all the people that depend on you. What in your marriage? And the reason I'm asking this because a lot of people see couples that have been together for a long time, and you see people from the outside looking in, right? I'm looking at this, what you said, Francis, a perfect couple, but we know that none of us are perfect. So let's help our audience understand, what does that thing look like? What is it that will ever make someone like you, Francis, or Sarah, say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. For you to even be able to come together and say, let's talk this through and work on it.
Either way.
Rob want to point to each other.
Yeah.
What did you? That's what it gets.
Exactly.
The power to raise the head, right? So let you talk.
There you go.
You see it?
I like it when they say that when it suits them, right?
Yeah,
Of
exactly.
course.
I'm not going to talk, but thank you for beginning.
Daughters of Eve. We're smart.
That's a very good question. I've been looking forward to answering this question. I hope somebody would have asked me this question.
We're losing your audio, or is it me?
Yeah, it's a little low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said that's a very good question. I hope you can hear me now. And for me, I was born and raised in a family, a dysfunctional family. My parents separated when I was 10 years old. I'm already from a dysfunctional family, okay? My mom and pop separated early. I don't like too many arguments. I talk a lot. I'm a Scorpio. I get mad easily. And because I get mad easily and I have a temper, I don't like for my wife to stand in for me and argue with me all the time. So what makes me want to throw in the towel when I see her arguing in front of me. I know I may be wrong on certain things, but you know sometimes women when you tell your husband one thing, you will not lead at all. You will you know, so she will drag that thing in my labyrinth too. When I elastic, she won't cut the elastic. I said, let it be now. So, and because we find ourselves in America, in a better society, you can't hit women. What I try to do in those situations, I will get to my house, go outside. But when she's standing in front of me, oh my God, I'm like, if this woman don't leave me alone, I will do something.
I was squeezed her.
So in those cases, I find myself screaming, I find myself yelling, leave me alone. I've gotten it. But sometimes, women mature more than men.
Yeah.
I feel that I'm not a child. I'm coming to be almost 50 years old now. Don't talk to me like that. I got children. But when you're ready to blast out, even if I kill somebody, man, come on. You thought the thing leave it small, but you would drag the thing. So for me, those are things that can make me want to just go away and say, you know what? I can't hear this no more. I can't deal with this no more. I have to focus. And sometimes, to be honest with you, since we're having a very good conversation here, my wife sometimes will not know when to bring the conversation, man. I can be at work. COVID time, we've been working from home for 2 years.
Yeah.
So you on your job, doing your serious thing. If something on this woman's mind,
Yeah.
she must talk about it then and then. When you say, hey, still wait for later. No.
No.
What's happening now?
Yeah.
So those are things it will aggravate me. And because I have temper, I'm like, hey my God, I pray I don't do something to put me in trouble. Then I can run away. Then when I run away, they say they're running away from your work. Yes, I will run away.
Awesome.
When she calms down, all right, now come back home. Or if it's in the middle of the night, not 2, 3 in the morning, when you wake up, she feel a big flower. Like, where's this coming from? We call it in the morning. And then I sleep and I need to take my clothes off. What we can't argue again. So all different things. To be honest with you, it drives me crazy. I really wish. Sometimes we ask for strong women when we get in and walk in.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what happens for me, that's what
That's interesting.
Is the stubbornness, maybe it's a man thing, but I don't get it. And then sometimes men think, oh, I'm a man. You can tell me what to do. But this is wrong. Whether you want me to say it or not is wrong. He wants me to say it and don't say it again. And if I see you do the same thing, I am going to say it. And I want to say it in a way that it's going to annoy him. Sometimes I will. And if it's annoying me, I got that you can, the thing that can make me laugh. He said, look at you. People think you're such this golden woman. I don't know you. When I'm in that mood, 2, 3 in the morning, I say, if I can't sleep about this, you're not sleeping.
Thank you. We'll talk about it. Keep it real.
Oh my God, I can't do this. No, we have to talk about it. And I think the part that really gets to him, he doesn't want his kids to hear about it. And sometimes, and that's where I really need to grow, because sometimes when I'm really mad,
I care who that.
There's the beans wherever and wherever but I'm learning, I'm working on that. But that's the point. Men are so stubborn. I don't understand the thing they call control versus being obedient. Sometimes you are just not being obedient. That doesn't mean the woman's trying to control you, but to misinterpret it to say, oh, she's controlling me, so I'm gonna rebel.
Okay.
That Michael respond to that. You're the only man here.
What am I going to say?
It's really good to hear, talk.
Yes.
I really appreciate you being very transparent
Yes.
and talking about the difficult parts of marriage, because I know a lot of folks out there listening can really relate. And, we often share all of the good. We don't talk about the ugly. We don't talk about the bad. So thank you for being transparent and answering that question for me. So my next question before I turn it over to Mikey, because I see him twisting in his chair already. Let's talk about the kids. How do you discipline your kids? I know coming from a Kru background, a Liberian background, discipline is something that's, very apparent in our household. But raising your children in these United States, I can only imagine it's as challenging for you as it's been for all of us on this panel. How would you share that? What are your challenges? What are the good, the bad, and the ugly raising children in a typical Liberian household?
Yep. So for me, again, that's another area where we fight and disagree all the time.
Mm,
I was raised by a very strong father. All right. My wife, on the other hand, she was raised by her mom. Her father wasn't there. And so she brings that feminine side to say, oh, I didn't have it when I was growing up. Now that I have some things, I want my children to have this. I'm, on the other hand, I was raised in a generous home. I'm like, look, I would discipline my children all the time. So I'm seen as the bad guy, but I thank God. You saw the video the woman made about my the other day.
Yes.
The woman-
she's like, I do.
Yeah, man, it was that. Okay. So, but then she tells her man, don't show to my pa. So she tells her man, don't show to my pa, right? How you say don't show to your pa, but then already enjoying that juice. She said, no, I gotta put it on Facebook.
Mhm.
I say this to say I have been a disciplinarian in our home, all of my children, from the schoolhouse down here, because I told them the way I was raised. I said, you guys may be in America, but this is an African home.
Yeah.
And because it's an African home, you guys will not embarrass me. If you embarrass me, I will embarrass you. The crew will come myself.
There you
Right?
go.
So I beat them, I discipline them. When I read it, that my bishop is in Tampa over there. But I bought
Mhm.
constable because he's the firstborn of his mom. Her stomach can be hurting when I'm beating, so I can lock it through. Right? I would like to go and give myself a home, go fight. I go to the should do that. Leave my son alone. I said, guess what? If your son misbehave, and I at one point, I must say my in too. So I was disciplined, and we fight all the time. Another area of concern as we continue to raise our children, I'll tell people out there, you may have money or gift, but that is no substitute for love for the children.
That's true.
You can shower them with all of the gifts you want to do. My wife, take pay for me. I be hot. I pay mortgage. I pay everything. So my children say they want 2 hours. I said, don't bring that foolishness to me.
Right?
Don't bring it to me. But mom, on the other hand, obviously, oh, let me go buy my daughter this. Let me go buy my son this. So they gravitate towards the mom,
Of course.
who will buy them the expensive things,
Yeah.
but then they will come to me for the school fees, the this, the
Yeah.
that. And then I tell her we're not on the same page. I can tell the children, oh, you're not getting this, whether it's a PlayStation, then tomorrow I see it here. It's not good parenting. That's how I see it. And then when my wife and I will fight all the time. Not because you didn't have it then, so you should just give everything to your children now. They must earn it.
Yeah.
And as part of that earning it, my daughter, my son, they will work. Other than work, if they work, I'm giving them 1 cent. I'm making clear already. So
Yep.
I'm saying, as the disciplinarian, she is saying, there's a show on TV, I think they call it The Weakest Link or something. Some
Yep. Yep.
like, yeah, she the weakest link when it comes to the children because apparently she didn't see children before. She's
She's the nurturer. She's not the weakest link. I gotta correct you there. She's the nurturer.
Yeah, but so that's the point, right? As he said, he has a different upbringing, aggressive, right? So he will be yelling. And from a mother perspective, I still discipline him, but I don't have to yell. So that's why I tell him, I say, you don't have to yell.
But sometimes the children can't yell unless you yell.
How we used to yelling in the crew family, we used to yelling.
We used to yelling. We the crew people, they can't
We
yell.
used to
Anything,
yelling.
they start yelling.
We were born by the sea now.
Yes,
Exactly.
and
I
it's
was
still rolling,
disciplining.
so we can't yell.
And that's the point. So I was like, you don't have to yell. And it really annoys them. And they come crying to me, Mom, Dad doesn't have to yell. We get it. So when I'm not yelling with him, he thinks I'm really soft with the kids. But he makes a good point. I feel like maybe it's from my childhood that I need to give my kids everything they want. So I don't know how to say no. That's my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on that, but I don't know how to say no to them. Something tells me that they deserve everything because they are really good kids. If I don't have to worry about, they are all A students, having brought up trouble, we got to be involved in police, drugs, and all this kind of thing in this kind of environment. I feel like they are good kids, right? Getting out of the house 1 or 2 times, not telling mom and dad to me is not, the sky is not falling. Those are the things my husband will be like, oh my God, when are you coming home? And Priscilla goes, Mom, get your husband. Really? 18 years old now. He will not sleep as long as this girl is out of the house.
Yeah.
I said, you gotta give her a break. She's 19 years old now. Even our oldest son, right? This boy's 22 years old. He wants to give him a curfew. Well, already graduated from college. So that's the difference.
It's
All
good.
right. Beautiful.
Michael.
Beautiful.
All right, so we talked a lot. We talked a lot about the whole family and marriage dynamic. So I will talk about something that's really close to my heart. I've observed you guys talk about the 400 children. I observed that you guys, you made several trips back to Liberia, and you guys are involved in a lot of philanthropy. So I wanted you to just talk a little bit about that. Or how did that get started? And what is your experience of coming from Liberia, coming here, being blessed so much by God, and then turning and giving back to our people?
So that's my baby. I gotta go from this one. Yeah. So when I introduce myself, I talk about purpose. There is a reason why everything happens in your life, why you were born onto certain family, all of that. God is very strategic about it. I was born and raised in Buchanan, Brown Bassa County. My mom.
Yeah. Where's tomorrow? I'm coming to check you out.
Looking for a relative. Oh.
Yeah.
That's where I was born and raised, right? My father left when I was 5 years old. So my mom raised, I only saw my mom and my siblings. And my mom was not formally educated, but she was my hero. Very business minded, a missionary, and she had so much value for education. So it always puzzled me. And a person who never had formal education, she instilled 3 key disciplines in my life, 3 key values: family, community. I put that together, faith, and education. So we didn't have much growing up. From a very humble background, at the age of 14, my mom died in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I should have been in the car with her, but God spared me. And I drove another car behind her. I saw her dead on the road. So when she died, I picked up a lot of pieces for my life and moved to Monrovia, lived with my siblings, but I had to do a lot by myself. Everybody making ends meet. And then finally, God blessed me. Worked with ITC Bank, Francis and I. He came to America, actually sent for me. And then I had an opportunity after we had our family 10 years ago. He wanted to go back to Liberia. He wanted to take the kids. And then I finally reluctantly decided to go with him because I didn't want him to take my kids without me. And when I got there, I visited Buchanan back where I was born and raised. Then it all came back to me why I was born in that community. It was dilapidated. My friends have 5, 6 kids running around barefooted. They didn't have clothes, no shoes. And the community was worse than I left it. I saw hundreds of kids because they had gathered to welcome me. And God just spoke to me right there and then, like, you got to do something for this community. I got impregnated right there. I did not go to Liberia to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the least thing on my mind. But God spoke to me so heavily, and I began to cry. And I said, I must do something to transform this community. And then we came back and started Annie Tito Memorial Foundation 10 years ago. My husband and I, based on our background, we formed the 501c3, had our families and board members gather together. And I knew God wanted us to do 3 things: education, women empowerment, and basic health. And that's the core of the foundation. We provide those three basic things for the foundation. And we started to do the work. I mean, when God gives you the vision, I can tell anybody He's going to bring the provision.
Yes.
For the last 10 years, He has aligned us with the right support, community, finances, and you just have to be transparent and accountable. And over the years, we've seen it grow from just a blueprint, wanting to build a school, to building elementary school, and then we went up to build a junior high school from 75 kids to 430 kids, to empowering women, to the health piece. So it has really grown over the years for the last 10 years. We go back every year to see how the work is going and all of that. For me, that's the icing on my life. Everything else, that is the greatest blessing after everything God has given us. That is the icing, paying it forward back to the community that I was born and raised in. And I'm so blessed that we do this together.
That is
Impressive.
awesome. That is awesome. Yes. So tell us.
I don't want to cut you off, Michael, but want to hear Francis' perspective on the NGO. I know you want Sarah to talk, but we want to hear about you too, because I see that
Oh,
you.
definitely. So for me, I'm a numbers person, and she talked about the transition from here to Liberia. We go to Liberia every time, and being in accounting and finance, I'm more involved with compliance. So when I got back to America, I had to make sure we legitimize the organization to ensure that we operated as required under the law. So I applied for the 501c3. We got that and incorporated the business to make sure we operated in that space. Nevertheless, when we started, the part she missed was that we started with about 75 students, and it was difficult. We didn't have funding at the time. And so we're taking our personal resources from the house to pay teachers to do things. I'm like, say, if this is what God called you to do, I cannot afford it. I really can't afford this. I mean, I got to give it to you guys. But then we started to reach out to our network of people. And then 10 years later, we started having what we call the annual gala to provide free primary Christian education to less fortunate kids. We did two mission trips to Liberia where we took some of our friends. In a community like Buchanan, Grand Plaza County, that was the highlight. People sometimes you go and people can validate your organization, but in Liberia, when you carry where people behind you, it gives you more validation.
That's true.
So we carry four of those white people behind
Oh,
us.
yeah. Really?
Awful.
Four, man. And they stay with us in Monrovia to our house because we got a home there, everything. That was a turning point. When those people came back to America, they became ambassadors for the organization. And by the grace of God, in the later years, we started raising over $100,000 a year for the foundation. We've grown from, let's just say, 75 to over 400 students. Last
Beautiful.
year, March, we were dedicating the junior high school. And the junior high school is there. We put over $150,000 there just to build 7th, 8th, and 9th grade and a big auditorium. The question that comes to mind, Michael and team of panelists, when I think about the organization, the Anitido Memorial Foundation, I've always said to myself, I needed a vehicle or space through which I could give back. And what better space I've had than to be able to work alongside with my wife and giving back to our community? Because think about it. I came to America on a scholarship. Somebody made it possible for me.
Yes.
Yep.
Today,
Yes.
Francis Seal can sit under a tree because somebody years ago planted a tree. I'm in the shade. And so to be able
Amen.
to move forward, I want to make sure that my life is about giving back to people that I would not expect from. I say this with caution because many times in our community, we give to people expecting something back.
Right.
But these are kids who don't have it to give you.
Yep.
Yes.
And so being able to go there and say, I want to be a blessing to you. I don't expect anything in return.
Yeah.
For me, that's what success looks like. It's not the master's degrees that we have, it's not the big homes that we have over here and all of that. But when I'm watching the toes of those children that got Jika inside, mama,
Mm,
and I got that picture to remind me of my humility.
yes.
That yes, we may be in America, we got these humongous homes and good jobs, but that's not life.
Hmm.
Life for me and my family now is about giving back. It is that glue. I'm very passionate. We are very passionate about this, and that's why we continue to fight. So when we see people doing similar things, we identify with them.
Yep.
What are you doing today that when you leave from this earth, somebody can speak of you? For me, I can say all the time when the name Francis Seal is mentioned in a conversation, I want people to speak highly of me. Not that I'm a perfect person, but I have the pen to write my story. And who can better write your story than yourself? As we live on this earth, we are writing our story. And what is your story?
Absolutely.
My story, our story, is to give back to society. How we do that is through the Antido Memorial Foundation. Over 400 children are benefiting from free education. We
Mm,
we all keep begging for money here in America. Those kids don't know, as far as they're concerned, their uniforms are supplied, the
Yep.
teachers are paid, and all of those things. We make trip to Liberia. And God has blessed us in so many ways. That's why this is very passionate to us. And when we think about pay, look at it in this way. With all that we have done, Akacha, I don't know about you or Gladys, but when you go to Liberia and an old lady look at you and spit in your hand and say, put it on your face like this, that's a blessing,
Mm,
you know.
mm.
And they pray for you. So some of the battles we go through there. I don't want to preach, but I have to say this to you real quick before I close. You know, Pastor Steve Forte of the Elevation Church, in one of his many sermons, he said, I no longer pray for what I think I need.
Mm.
mm,
I ask God for what He knows I need.
Amen.
Because He's the only one who has been in my tomorrow to understand what
Mm.
is there. So that if I have to fight a Goliath, He will send a lion to prepare me for that Goliath that I'm about to fight. We are
Wow.
fighting so many Goliaths in our lives right now because there is a lion there somewhere. On the foundation, we find a lot of jealous people. Some
amen.
people are jealous of you for no reason, even what you're doing. Somebody may say, well, who they think they are? But I say this, when you got God and He's covering you, no weapon
Mm,
that is fashioned against you shall prosper. You
Mhm.
know? And this is the thing that drives us all the time. We know we got God.
amen.
The provision have come from unexpected sources. You don't want me to tell you some of the people that not get all the money, man. Yeah, you want me to go there. So I will just tell you that it is by the grace of God that this foundation continues to be sustained. Because 10 years ago, like I said, and when you ask me, I said, I'm not sure where this is coming from because I'm going to be taking my paycheck to be paying. But this time around, when I don't have to even look at my paycheck, somebody and contributions are coming from donors all over the place. We see that as a blessing. That's why I'm passionate about it. We filed our Form 990 because I'm a tax accountant as well and want to make sure we stay in compliance. That's our baby. And by
Awesome.
the grace of God, we want to get to high school or whenever. That's why we don't complain on whatever the politics is in Liberia. I want to make my own difference.
Amen.
That's what it is. That's all
Yep.
we're trying to do.
And,
Amen.
and also it's more transferable because as I think about it, we're getting our kids involved. Our daughter now is the brand ambassador. We took them was that 2 years ago?
Seriously.
Yeah, we took them 2 years ago and her heart just
You want to go
gravitated.
again?
She wants to go, so we'll be going in December. This time we'll take the older boy too. But they are also involved. My daughter is sponsoring because to sponsor a child is $300 the whole year. So we try to get sponsorship for each of the kids because we got about 430, and then you got to pay about 30 people that employ at the school on a
Right.
monthly basis. So there's a lot of operational expenses, but God has been good. My daughter is sponsoring one student $300. So as I look at it, this is not even just about us. It's about making sure that we're preparing the generation after us to continue the legacy that has been laid.
Awesome.
Awesome, Glennie.
So
Good stuff.
for those are the people I mean the story is amazing. I'm stuck on the Goliath part.
All right, let me tell you
I
this
am
again.
stuck on that Goliath part. I want you to repeat that Goliath part because I think it is so, and there are a
No
lot of
problem.
people on here who love that Goliath part, who have said
Certainly.
a lot of amens to that. So please repeat it
And
so that it
hallelujah.
sinks in for me.
I'll be happy to repeat it. What I said earlier was that I no longer ask God for what I think I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for what He knows I need.
Mm-hmm.
Because He is the only one who has been in my tomorrow to know whether there's a Goliath waiting for me. And because He understands there may be a Goliath waiting for me, He will send a lion to prepare me for the fight. And the lions that are preparing us for the fight are the ones that we have to struggle with because there is a Goliath waiting. You cannot face a Goliath without fighting the lion. All right?
Okay.
And those are the things I try to say when I come to this point. And I'll give you bonus. And the bonus I will give you is this. You know Moses himself.
Okay, Bishop Seal.
Now Moses was raised in Pharaoh's palace. In Pharaoh's palace. Nevertheless, Moses, having all of the accolades, he said, I will not forsake my hometown only because I found myself in Pharaoh's palace.
Right.
Many Liberians today find themselves in Pharaoh's palace. What is that Pharaoh's palace in America?
Yeah.
We're enjoying the amenities of life, but I will not turn my back on my country because I have the comfort and convenience of Pharaoh's palace here in America.
Okay, Bishop.
And so we find ourselves, we took our children because we want to leave a legacy. We go back every time. I will be happier sleeping on the floor, understanding and knowing that I have not forgotten from whence I come.
Amen.
And that is what drives all of us. So know that Agatha, Michael, Glennie, there is a Goliath that we have to fight. But in so doing, you must face the lion today. Because when you defeat the lion, he's preparing you for that Goliath. You cannot face the Goliath without fighting the lion. And those lions are all around us today. On our job, in our homes, in our relationship, in every area of our life. But we thank God we stand on the pillow, knowing that He's able to do things for us that we cannot do for ourselves.
Yes.
I hope I'm not carrying you far off, but I just want you to understand that when your life is not of your own anymore, He will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies.
Amen.
You will raise up a standard when the enemies are coming to you with like a flood.
They
You will
will
not
see
even
you.
know how it's happening, but He will hide you. He will make you slippery in the hands of the enemy because there is a work He has for you to do. And when you do that work and you do it well, you will say, well done, my good and faithful servant.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You with me so far?
After all of that, I want to say the doors of the church are open.
Amen.
Amen.
Come on to the altar.
So somebody here fighting for Francis here with the same, but when you angry, you want for Francis to yell at the children, but when you first, you know how to yell at him.
Somebody need to talk for me, man.
She acting like she know how to yell, but 2 o'clock in the morning she will be still yelling.
That's a good one. And he always says that.
I know. But we want to say we almost gone an hour. We've had a beautiful evening. Your story is amazing. Your love story. What I like about it is I like that you were very transparent. You're humans. Do you see? I mean, no marriage is perfect. You're perfectly what you said, imperfectly perfect.
No, perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect. You're still working on it. We're extending our amen to you to continue to work because you have so much that you've worked on together. And something that I also learned is the fact that Francis said when you get angry and you want to throw in the towel, you get upset, you think about all of the things, and that's the partnership. It's
Yeah.
not just about the marriage, it's about the fact that we're married, we love each other, but we have a partnership, and that's what's important. So we want to say that we really appreciate that you all could come. I want to say we say this to all of our viewers. We want to
Yeah.
also appreciate you, the fact that you make sacrifices to give back to Liberia.
Yeah.
And in your story, Francis, when you say that I got a scholarship to come here, and you're gone from one scholarship that you got that you're now able to bless almost 400 or over 400 kids, that's amazing. Giving back is good. It's like you give, and I learned a lot. You know, I like quotes and stuff. There's something else you said where when you give to God, He gives back to you.
When you take
When
care of
God
God,
gives you
Take
the
care of
vision,
God, God will take care of your business.
Yes. When you
yeah,
take
they
care of
couldn't
God's
get started
business,
though, but he
He
will.
will take
God will
care of
take
your
care.
business.
And that quote came from the time we built the first Liberian church in the state of North Carolina.
Yes.
Go
Yes.
do the research. We put $100,000 down. We source of credit when nobody could source their credit. We put our credit on the line.
Yes.
The bank should take the credit because the bank we got our own
Amen.
personal credit for our homes. Why we can't take a personal credit for the church? And today the church is almost paid off. So I said, when you take care of God's business, God will take care of yours. Now
Amazing.
that's
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. So we want to end here, but want to say to you, whenever you and your wife feel the need to come on, please let us know. This show is your show as much as it's our show. We do have this show. This is the serious part. I always say this part where I have to try and speak good English because of Michael and attack. God know the people no plan to poke me. I can be my but and then we also have the Facebook page, and that page is actually there to be able to relieve stress. We laugh, we talk. Tomorrow is Yama Yama Friday. I know you all
yes.
just joined the page. Make sure you come there because we talk a lot of Yama Yama there. But we want to say, if you all just before we end the interview, if you all have a few words you would like to say, want you all to say that now so that we can end this portion of the show.
Yeah, I will not leave without talking to wives. The importance of prayer.
So that I mean I become divorced.
Oh,
Prospective wives too.
right
Prospective
now
wives.
in our home, I have a prayer closet down in my basement. I told God, when you get me a certain level, I will build an altar in my home for you. I have a sacred place in my closet. And it is that place that I go 2, 3 in the morning when the atmosphere needs to be changed. When I need to summon my husband's spirit into that room. When I need to summon my kid's spirit into that room. When my work is not speaking. When the foundation is not going. That's the place I go. So I don't know, for those of you who are listening, there is power in prayer. As I look back, it's been 30 years, 23 years of marriage, 3 beautiful kids. Everything I have asked for, the Lord has provided. It has
Amen.
not always been easy, but I spend my time in prayer and I see that God works. So no matter what the situation is, don't forget your war room. Everything changes in the war room.
Amen.
Man.
Amen. Francis, any closing words?
I just want to thank you for the opportunity that you guys have provided us today. It is important, as she said, to pray. I can tell you right now, without prayers, we probably would be separated, you know. But prayer is the glue that holds this family together. It's not the successes and all of these material things and what have you. It is God. And so all glory and honor belongs to Him who has given us the opportunity to be here tonight. So I thank you. We look forward to more and more partnership. If we can continue to be a blessing to your platform, please don't hesitate. Agatha is a sister and friend of mine. I've known her for a long time from a cathedral day. So we look forward to more and more conversations whenever the need
Yes.
arises.
Yes.
And for
Yes.
those of you out there who, I mean, for me, I just like to be transparent. I'm not perfect in no way, shape, or form. That's why I say what I have to say. So don't see us saying that you're too perfect with a fight like crazy. So it is what it is, you know. So
Yes.
thank you for the time tonight. And it is a
Yes.
pleasure to meet each and every one of you.
Thank you. So the
Thank
thing
you.
about the show, we end the interview portion now. If you want to stay, you can stay because we still have a second part. If you don't have anything to do, you want to stay, you can stay.
We have to let them stay.
Please stay. Please
Please
stay.
stay.
The audience love you. We just got
Oh, wow.
about 15 minutes left. I want to tell you that the show is so interactive. The audience that are watching, they really, really, really do love you. Everybody's commenting. I think what people like in general, they like transparency.
Yes.
It's the fact that you guys are authentic and you're transparent, and so they love I'm telling you, the comments. And I think this is one of the shows that we've had almost the most comments so far, and it's because they really, really like the interaction, and they like that Sai will start yelling small.
Let's tell
And
everyone to start yelling.
let me
Let's
tell you,
talk to
right?
them
The
more.
last of this boy, and when I'm mad, I don't want to talk. He said, "Mom, marriage is not 20, it's not 8 hour job, 24 hours. So when you get tired, just come back. Let's have a conversation."
All right, so let's go to the second part of the show. It's not going to be very long. We want to go to Michael, the trending topic.
Sure.
Is that Ask Into?
No, trending topics first.
Trending topic in Liberia.
So,
Um,
sure. So right now, unfortunately, we still have the trending topic of rape in Liberia. There's still a struggle in Liberia. The raping of our children, our daughters, and what seems to be a very difficult time for the people that are supposed to protect us, the security forces, the government, to get a hand of this. Actually, to bring people to justice. It's still trending in Liberia right now, unfortunately. And it's a struggle for everybody. And I can just imagine for you guys out there, who have 400 children in Liberia, I can imagine, what you guys go through. So that's one of the trending topics right now. The other is just continues to trend is the bicentennial.
The settlers are coming.
the settlers that intel.
So there's been a lot of mixed reactions. Some people believe that the bicentennial has been hijacked.
By who?
Huh?
By
By
who?
the settlers.
But
In the
everybody
red
but the
beret.
settlers. Yes. So I mean, there's this push, authentic push by a lot of people, just to take this opportunity to actually be a more uniting force than a division. We just get one country, and no matter where we find ourselves in the world, we're drawn to that country,
Yep.
and all that it can be. So those are the two things that are trending right now. So I want you guys' comments on what you think. How about we start with the guest first?
Sure.
Anything,
think
you
about the
want to say
bicentennial?
anything about the trending topics?
Definitely. So I would start with the violence against our women and children in Nigeria. As a foundation, we are opposed to such. It is wrong. I think the government needs to do more. It's one thing about saying we're doing something, and another thing for actualizing it. What we don't have in Liberia is the next step, doing something. Because for us, we are good at talking and talking and talking. But then the implementation arm of government, whether it's through the Ministry of Gender, where Piso City Tar is, or anywhere else, people have to be brought to book. I cannot imagine how would a 13-year-old girl be raped and killed, and yet we
Yeah.
talk. And some things don't need to be talked about. That's why I say this. When you speak of trending topics, recently we visited a country named Dubai. And while in Dubai, you can walk freely all over the place. There's no crime. I haven't been to a country where it says zero crime.
Mm.
Then I'm sitting there thinking about Liberia. So I think when the implementation arm of government is fully resourced, because we lack capacity in that area, it's fully
Mhm.
resourced. I think something can be done. What is that something? People must be held accountable for their actions. And then when we
Exactly.
set an example on one or two, maybe it would change the societal culture. In America, on our job, we have cultural changes and all of those different things. That's why our topic, and for us at the foundation, we have policies and procedures in place. We are zero tolerance when it comes to rape and violence on women, children, boys, or girls, whatsoever the situation. If we hear of any complaint, even if you're beating on somebody's child, that's an abuse.
Mm-hmm.
You will now work for our foundation if you are spanking somebody. Whether it's in Liberia, it doesn't give you the right to spank somebody's child. So I've adopted our American mentality to say and transpose it in Liberia. So I think we need to add our voice to the many voices that are continuing to speak against this issue. We have a female vice president, for Christ's sake. I think her voice needs to be louder than what it is right now.
Mhm.
And and I say this with all due respect to Madam Vice President, but I think her voice needs to be louder than what it is. Okay, without any fear or favor. That is our position on abuse, rape, and violence in Liberia. Now, when it
Yeah.
comes to the bicentennial, it's a different story. I said, you
The
know,
settlers are coming.
The settlers arrived.
the reason I say it's a different story, why it is true the settlers are coming. I think there are so many missed opportunities.
Yes.
Liberians from all walks of life should be given opportunities, yes, to be a part. This is not a party program.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So when you look at picture, you get see blueberries all over the place. Okay, what happened to the other group of people? So I think there are some missed opportunities. And as the settlers are coming, we need more and more tourism. Liberia
Yeah.
is rich in tourism,
Yes.
Yes.
but we don't have the road connectivity. We went to a place in Banga, one country called Patawi Waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Patawi is a beautiful waterfall. When I go to Jamaica, I see it's similar. But you go to Labrador to get to Patawi, you gotta care 4 week drive. All those things is important. Okay, we go to Sunset Beach in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County. To get to Sunset Beach, the roads are so bad. So when we carry kids, sometimes you can know whether your country fan or not when you get stranger behind you. It's easier for you to go to your house by yourself when you bring a stranger behind. I think they clean your house and everything.
Exactly.
And I
Yes.
think
Exactly.
Yes.
this bicentennial presents an opportunity where we can expose what we have. And I think
Wow.
more needs to be done in the area of tourism. There's lots of missed opportunities. As though people out there, they should not be confined to the sports stadium. They should carry
Yeah.
them to West Point. They should carry them all over the place like we did. We carry our guests to West Point, and once I cry and say, he said you want to see the Queen of Bassa, okay? Oh, we enter West Point, the one most I cry is and she's smelling when she said, she said, what is that? He said you want to come to ghetto? I will bring you here. I'm not
Wow.
going. I'm not
Yeah.
going to show you just Mama
You,
Point or yeah, you in air conditioned house. You got to see everywhere. I think those are some of the
yep.
things we hope that
Yep.
our people will
Yeah.
see.
So I,
You know,
I think I go ahead,
sorry,
Akasha.
Glendy. You
More to be
said
said.
something. Oh, I'm sorry, Sarah.
I said there's nothing more to be said. Mr. C already covered all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do want to add one thing before we move on to the next topic. I know we're running late. You know, Francis said something about all of the crimes in Liberia, and you compare it to a zero crime rate in Dubai. I'll read something really quickly for you. Rip victims, I'm sorry, people that are accused of rape can be given 12 months imprisonment. Um, People will be publicly flogged if they commit crimes such as adultery.
Mhm.
They will be publicly flogged for consuming alcohol if it's against their religion, such as Muslims. These are, and the reason I bring this up to share with our viewers that for every action, there's a consequence.
Mhm.
So until we start to, you know, show consequences for crimes that are committed in Liberia, we will continue to see the rise of crime. The little girl that got raped in the Liberian embassy by those two boys, I will continue to talk about it because those two boys are walking free in Monrovia, and all of our children and your children walking in Monrovia are a potential risk of being raped by those same boys because there were no consequences for their actions. We've released them back into society without any consequences. So, how certain are we they're not going to do it again? I just
Yeah.
wanted to say that there's zero crime rate in Dubai because there are consequences for committing a crime. There are absolutely no consequence for committing a crime in Liberia.
Yeah. So you
But
follow anybody husband over there or where they will beat you publicly.
they will publicly flog you. Yep.
And it's
Yep.
funny you said that. That was the first place that we love to travel. That was the first country I've been for. Were there for almost a week, and I did not see a police in the street.
Yep. There's consequences for actions. So
Yeah.
until we start to do that in Liberia, unfortunately, we'll continue to see crime rise.
But I
Anyway,
That's
also
the only language human being understand, right? Consequences. So
yep.
yeah.
if there's no consequences for your action, people continue to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think I want to close the I think I want to close the Liberian trending topics by saying congratulations to President Weah
Yes.
for the fact that he braved it to be able to go back to the executive mansion. I think the fact that they've done that, we grew up knowing the mansion, we grew up liking the place. I remember I was in Effa Baptist Church. We sang for President Samuel Kanyando. The place was beautiful. No matter what, I mean, there are so many things that we can say that's not going right. Of course, the rape thing is wrong, but the fact that there have been so many precedents since the Toba, the coup, and the fact that the current government has been able to start work on the executive mansion, I just think it gives the country another feel that at least we can go back into the mansion. So President we said thank you, but we still be on you, Papa. Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. I
We
think
often blasted him, so it's good that we recognize
yes,
the
we want to
president. I
recognize
thank
him
you,
for doing
President
that.
Weah.
So many people said they would do it, but they didn't dare. But he dared to do it, and I think that was a good thing.
Yep.
Trending topics on the page. I don't know if we're gonna. I think we will skip Ask Enter. We'll skip it.
Sure. Whatever you want to do.
What you want us to do? One Ask Enter, so we can twist the guest then the evening. We can skip Ask Enter. Let me just say the trending topics because we always so on the page. We have a lot of topics that we share on the page. We talk about it. There's a lot of interaction. People go there and they respond freely. It's an adult page, so we talk everything. We talk Jesus. We condemn Satan. We do everything.
Yeah.
Is this post actually got, and this is from the week of 2/9 to 2/15. This post actually got 8,200 viewers to look at this post, and the post said, "I'll eat a pot of water with a fork before I worry about who's not speaking to me." Imagine 8,000 people like this post, and this was from Evangeline. So the second one that was the second highest, they said there's this preaching on the page with this woman who's preaching. I think she's Ghanaian and telling women how to respond when they're having sex. And this post actually got 3,000 people that view it. You'll find her, she's there talking all the possibility thing that she's talking that she herself probably not even doing. The last one is Van Jones from CNN, who talked about so he got this friend, they've been friends for years. I'm gonna explain the way that I bring posting it. He explained it. He and a woman had been friends for a year. They probably been knocking down behind somewhere now. He not gonna get a woman pregnant. Instead of telling the real story, like you can talk about conscious co-parenting. What the hell is conscious co? But
No,
anyway,
right?
that post had a lot of people talking on the page, and they actually had 1,400 people that viewed that post and actually look at it. The last one that had 1,000, it says, when your ex says you'll never find another one like me, your response will be what? And that had 1,000 people that view it. So there's a lot of interaction on that page. We learn a lot from one another. We want to continue. We want to say thank you to our audiences for watching. We're almost to where we need to be, the end of the show. We want to tell you have something, Agatha?
No.
Okay. We want to tell you who's coming next week. Of course, this week we've had the two very transparent and eloquent, and how can I describe that cool man here with? We had a good time. We had a good show. But next week we're gonna have this man used to live here. The reason why I'm excited about this guest next week is this man used to live here. He didn't like the loving in the American skies. He went back to Liberia, found a woman, and he has described the relationship as loving in the African skies.
No,
But
loving
next week-
under the African
Yeah,
skies.
loving under the African skies. So they're gonna be here next week. They're gonna be closing the month of love, telling us what it means to be in love in Liberia. And I have challenged myself to go there too and find somebody from there.
Whatever. Whatever.
Okay, so here's our guest next week. There you have it.
Charlene.
We have Charles Dennis and the counselor.
Yeah.
Charlene Brumskin will be here next week. We'll be talking all about love in the African skies. We also want to say that we're looking forward to this. We want to congratulate Charlene today. Yesterday, we found out that she actually deuced the bar. She did, yes.
Congratulations,
Very
Charlene.
So we want to say thank you to our guests for today. Thank you to our audience for watching. We'll be looking forward to everybody coming back next week. And Francis and Sai, anytime you all see the need to come on this show, this is equally your show as much as it's ours. We try to stay away from politics, but we do have interest in what goes on in Liberia. We talk strictly about social issues. We want to empower people. We want also people. I think this month has been amazing to hear from all married people. And so I think every month we try to find some kind of team that we're going to use the people to learn. So thank you both for coming so much. We enjoy you all. And folks, until next time, we're going to see you all. Thank you for watching. Michael, you got anything to say?
Bye-bye.
Agatha?
Check us out on our Facebook page, Women with Words. We have the YouTube channel. It's also Women with Words. If you have an Ask Answer question, send us an email at gsbc@gmail.com.
Thank you. See you all next week.
All right.
I said, baby, can I talk to you for a moment? Seems like I'm really feeling